I don't think people understand just how fast the base model Mac Mini is. Now, the Mac Studio is literally 3 times faster when it comes to graphic performance. It's practically a gaming machine. Well, I'm exaggerating, don't buy this for gaming. But I have to say this is probably the best machine for creators who are looking for just something to just sit in a workplace that gets the job done and can handle practically everything that you throw at it. Apple has long been the digital home for the creative class. From great softwares like Logic and Final Cut to incredible performance, especially with Apple's work on the M1 chips. These are some of the greatest computers on earth. So as someone who runs a business fueled on creativity, caffeine, and render times, here are my thoughts on the Mac Studio's potential for creatives. I think the most important thing to consider on the hardware of the Mac Studio is the SD card reader on the front of this device. In the past, Apple has either snubbed the SD card reader to make the device thinner or put the reader in the back of the computer. Just ew and awful. We finally have ports on the front of the creative-centered Mac, so you can kiss your nest of cables and adapters goodbye. This bad boy has 2 USB-C ports that support up to 10 gigabits per second on the front and an SD card reader. If you check out the ports on the back, you've got even more options. You have 4 Thunderbolt 4 ports. I feel like they just kind of did that on purpose, like 4 Thunderbolt 4. But anyway, these support up to 40 gigabits per second, a 10 gigabit Ethernet port, HDMI, 2 regular USB ports, and a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. All of these ports say one thing. This is a computer that wants you to be as fast as possible. If you need to support 5 displays at once, quickly import footage from drives and SD cards and upload footage with 10 gigabit Ethernet speeds. Nothing is literally standing in your way, and this computer is made for you. In terms of sizing here, the Mac Studio base model is 7.7 by 7.7 and 3.7 inches tall. This is definitely a chunky boy compared to the new MacBook Pros with the M1 Max or the M1 Mac Mini, but if you're comparing it to the Mac Pro, this is a serious improvement. So I just thought about this. Apple talked about this device being modular in the press conference, and just like my friend Miles from 9to5 Mac pointed out, I'm not really sure what they meant by this. Yes, you can hook up multiple external monitors. Yes, it's slightly more portable than your typical desktop, but I don't really know how it's modular in any way because it's like damn near impossible to open this up without the right tools. With that said, I will say it's more portable than your typical desktop, but I don't think it's gonna be that convenient to take this around with you versus maybe like a Mac Mini. And even then, you still have to bring an external monitor, so I don't know if this is modular or portable, to be honest with you. Regardless, I think a lot of people will be thrilled with the performance on this. The M1 Max chip has a 10-core CPU, 24-core GPU, and a 16-core neural engine. As a creative, I love the fact that you get 3x improvements in GPU performance from the M1 chip. This means that it can easily encode any video file, including ProRes and ProRes RAW. In terms of memory, it's what you'd expect. It has 32 gigs or 64 gigs of RAM, and the base is 512 gigs of storage that can be configured up to 8 terabytes if you want to pay that extra price point. Now, this still isn't as powerful as the M1 Ultra, which has a 20-core CPU, 64-core GPU, and 129 gigs of RAM, which is probably overkill for most people. The M1 Max is really specifically built to be a graphics improvement from the M1 over an overall speed improvement. Okay, so we're gonna do a quick video editing test, both on Adobe Premiere and Final Cut Pro. So the first timeline is gonna be 4K, 10 minutes long, with a bunch of graphics and an adjustment layer with some color correction. Then the next timeline is gonna be an 8K Red Raptor footage, 120 FPS and 75 FPS, 10 minutes long as well, with a bunch of graphics and adjustment layer. And we're gonna see exactly how it scrubs through the timeline and what exactly we get as far as export times. This can chew through a standard video editing timeline, but even when adding color corrections, graphics, and running multiple windows, I still don't experience any frame drops or even hear the fans kicking in. Now, rendering files was super quick. A 10-minute 4K video with color correction and graphics in the timeline took me around 1 minute and 34 seconds on Final Cut Pro and 10 minutes and 6 seconds on Adobe Premiere, while an 8K render with the same amount of graphics and color corrections took 8 minutes and 25 seconds on Final Cut and 24 minutes and 23 seconds on Adobe Premiere. So I think something that's important to mention is that the MacBook Pro also ships with the M1 Max chip, meaning you could get similar if not the same performance in a portable body. But given that this model of the Mac Studio retails for only $1,800 compared to the MacBook Pro with the M1 Max that retails at $2,899, this is definitely the most cost-effective way to get this level of performance. You could also compare this to the M1 Mac Mini, but I think these are two different devices. Historically, this classic mid-budget desktop Mac for creative people has been spec'd out Intel Mac Mini paired with an external GPU, but eGPUs aren't perfect. Having this kind of GPU performance baked into this device and optimized for Mac OS makes this one of the fastest performing desktops for graphically intensive content. Overall, I think Apple's trying to make devices that can work alone seamlessly. The fact that this tiny box can absolutely crush any creative project I throw at it is pretty insane when you really think about it. As of now, if you have $2,000 and you need a computer for some graphically intensive projects, I don't see a better option out there, especially if you want to stay in Apple's ecosystem. The Mac Studio is truly a creative's dream. My name is Victor Gamanga. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing all of you in the next one. Bye.